So, Ragiroth do.
Ragiroth Enterprises.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here. So the new DLC for Xenoverse 2 finally came out, presumably the last pack. I'm going to cut right to the chase. I'm going to talk about all 4 characters, you know, how I thought they turned out. And they are as follows: Big Gray Superman, Cyborg 71, Goku Roth, and Hipster Ninja. So first I am going to talk about Jiren. Now, for when I mentioned him on my channel, I basically said that, you know, I'm not really a huge Jiren fan, not really on the Jiren hype train. So I was a little disappointed he was chosen over, like, some characters that didn't make it in yet, like Baby Vegeta or Maju, or maybe even some other Tournament Power characters I like more, like Kefla. So I was kind of like meh about his inclusion in this game, or at least, you know, at this point. I mean, I knew he was going to be in Xenoverse at some point. I mean, it's like, come on. Anyway, you know, how I think about him is actually basically how I still think of him. He's just kind of meh. I don't know, I mean, well, alright, here's part of the problem. And this actually goes for 1 or 2 of the other characters in the pack. I feel like maybe these movesets were kind of made a bit earlier on, and maybe a little outdated of what they could do in Super. Because, like, alright, well, his melee combos, they're okay. I mean, I guess in terms of how he plays fine. I think he does pack a little bit of a punch. I mean, I guess he's better. Just, you know, his attacks just aren't, you know, as I feel on the show, just not really that interesting to me. I mean, Power Impact, that's the move he, like, has done on, like, Kefla and Hit. You know, where he shoots the red blast at them, and they go flying, and then he does a cool pose, and they blow up. Well, I mean, I like that move. You know, if you charge it up, it does that. Otherwise, it's just a little red blast. Yeah, that's in all fairness a cool move. I like that. I figure that it's a pretty iconic Jiren move, we'll say. You know, obviously the meditation is interesting. It's interesting that it actually, if you hold it in longer, it'll actually increase I think his key bars. You actually have to do it to be able to do his unique ultimate, which is Power Rush, and it took me a little bit to figure out that you had to do that. That's when I was like, why the hell can't I do it? His ultimate, I mean, I guess it's effective, or his unique ultimate, I should say, because, you know, everyone has full power energy wave or whatever. It just like Jiren, it just feels very plain. It's just a barrage of punches and kicks. And the thing is, like, as much of a fan, I guess, as apathetic I am to Jiren, I actually feel like they didn't, no pun intended, do him full justice, because I feel like there's a lot of other crazier stuff he's done that he doesn't really reflect in his moveset, and this is why, I think he should have just been saved for Xenoverse 3 when Super was all done, and they knew fully of what he could do. But, you know, what do I know, right? I know they were just trying to kind of cash in on the hype of it, which I can understand, but yeah, I mean, he's cool. It is nice hearing his English voice. I was wondering why I hear Patrick Seitz and Funimation things I've never heard in Dragon Ball. Well, now we finally have. Yeah, I mean, he's okay. I mean, like I said, just very apathetic Jiren. I don't hate the guy. It's just kind of like very meh. But I'm sure a lot of people are happy to play as him. So now moving on to Ultra Instinct Goku. Okay, now I'm going to say this. Ultra Instinct Goku is my probably favorite character in this pack. You know, initially I was very, just like Jiren, very apathetic to Ultra Instinct form. However, as soon as they revealed this complete version with white hair, I was totally on board. You know, especially because I like how he uses the form. That's cool. I just wasn't that crazy about the hair, at least the hair color. But yeah, I love it. It is probably one of my favorite Super Saiyan forms in Dragon Ball, if you want to consider that. I don't really know what the hell you consider Ultra Instinct, but, you know, whatever, form of Goku. So now, here's the really cool thing with it. First of all, his combos, I think they're not, like, ripped right from Goku. I know there's some copy things. I know that thing where he will literally kick off of the character, come from the other side of the screen, and then punch, and then hit the character. I think that's really cool, and it's really different. Also, one other neat thing about him is that he will actually automatically dodge if he has stamina and he's getting hit with, like, a normal melee attack. I think it's, like, a really cool, unique thing to Ultra Instinct. In terms of unique moves, he has a couple, you know, the Soaring Fist is a cool move. Kind of reminds me of, like, I'm trying to remember what he's done in the show. Actually, fun enough, reminds me of some more Jiren has done than him. Then again, we haven't actually seen this one in the show, so I have to remember that. I kind of do wish they gave him Burst Kamehameha instead of just regular Kamehameha for one of his own specials. The ultimate, though, is awesome. Oh my god, it is sexy as hell. And I think it might be one of the best ultimates in the game, because it's pretty easy to hit with. I like that it's like a white spirit bomb instead of just, a blue spirit bomb, assuming that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not, we don't know yet. He has his own unique charge. It's called Surging Spirit, his own unique charge move, too. I got all excited because I thought it'd be, an actual attack, but it's okay. I think it sucks is, of course, you can't give any of his moves to creative characters. At least not yet, maybe. I know I've heard, I think, he doesn't do that much damage, and his stamina's bad. The damage, I don't really know yet, because if you notice, I use him in very, early parallel quests when everyone's pretty weak, so that's maybe not a good demonstration of that. I figured it's just because he's so good in other areas that kind of balance him out. That's probably why. But overall, I really like Ultra Instinct Goku. I like that they kind of gave this kind of, I guess, echo effect to his voice. I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, I really like everything about him. I'm really hoping in the next Xenoverse we'll be able to kind of attain an Ultra Instinct power up for our characters, and it really should be any race that could get it, because it's not only the Saiyans, even if only a Saiyan has gotten it in the show. But I really like the character. That's definitely my favorite part of the pack, at least in terms of characters. So now we have Fu, a character that not exactly made just for this game. He originally debuted in Dragon Ball Online, but he was just a little baby. Now he's seen as a fully grown adult or teenager. I don't know how old he is. He's a demon. I was very mixed about his inclusion. I still kind of am. Not as in the story. I think the story it's really cool. More so just just other characters that I'd like to be playable first. And I feel like if we were to get any, I guess, of the demon characters, I would have really liked to get, Demigra. He's still not freaking playable. Or the Super or Final Form Mira. But bias aside, I think Fu is pretty. I think he's actually probably one of the most unique characters in the game. He has some pretty unique moves that aren't just typical Energy Blast. We don't have a purely I think his fighting style is kind of cool because it sort of reminds me of a ninja. Even his throw, he does the Izuna drop, Hayabusa drop, whatever you want to call it. That is a very standard ninja move. His specials are pretty unique, involving swords and traps and all that. I don't really know how his ultimate works. It's kind of a cage version of Mira's Serious Bomb, and his sword moves are crazy. It's all over the place. A little hard to control and awkward sometimes, but otherwise, pretty cool and pretty effective too. From what I can tell, unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can give Fu's moves to create a character. That's probably because I was gonna say no, there's some moves that involve swords. That shouldn't be the issue. I don't know. Maybe you can. I'm hoping his and Ultra Instinct Goku's will be made available at a later date, in the TP Metal Shop. Oh my god, Ultra Instinct Goku's moves are probably gonna cost a zillion TPs. Fu is pretty cool. I'm still kind of mixed on his design and voice. I think his parents look much cooler. I'm sorry, but he is pretty cool. He's definitely not, certainly not the worst inclusion in the game. Definitely a neat character, and I'm assuming he'll probably play a big role in Xenoverse 3. Alright, last but not certainly least is the MVP himself, Ranger 17. Now, for those that know me, I'm a pretty big Android 17 fan, while having him be his Ranger 17, that is, be his own separate character in this. I think there's other characters that should have been picked. I can't really argue with more 17. He's like pizza. I'm gonna like him basically anywhere, even if I like other versions of him more or less. But I was really excited for him in this pack. Maybe him and Ultra Instinct Goku were probably the things I was looking most forward to. But all I really gotta say is, what the hell happened? Well, okay. Here's the bright side. I think it's cool that it'd give him his own unique combos. He still has the same throw for some reason. But I didn't expect that. I figured he'd mostly have the same combos, maybe slightly different special moves. But first of all, here's the thing. It's like his unique moves or unique combos are cool, and I guess something different. Like, you know, the punching in the air one especially. But they're just very, like, I don't know, very awkward. They're very slow and awkward. And, like, okay, I can forgive that, but they only gave him one new special move, or ultimate move. Not even a new ultimate move. He has the same ultimate moves. They gave him one new special move. You know, that's all. And of all the new things he's shown off in Super with the barriers and all that, that's all they did. They just gave him one new move. I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, that's all you could give him? You know, he's shown off new stuff since the beginning of the tournament. It's not even like the Jiren, where he did maybe start showing stuff off maybe like kind of the early middle. So that really made me mad. And then, to top it all off, they gave him this ridiculous Z-Soul, where he can't use his specials or ultimates until he reaches a certain health percentage. And even if you heal, like, you know, you say you reach that and you heal, he's back at, you know, not being able to use his specials and ultimates. I don't know where the logic in that is. I don't know where the hell, what they were thinking with that. And I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess his specials are, I mean, they're good, but they're not like anything crazy. And then, like, of course, the one new special move they give him is a freaking counter move. Not that I'm saying counter moves are bad, but it's like, well, that's like the one new thing to look forward to. It's kind of annoying. I guess it has a funny name too. It's a Rough Ranger. But it doesn't. Well, okay. The cool thing about the special move is that, like, I think it counters Ki Blasts and physical attacks. So if he counters a Ki Blast, he'll do a little barrier. And if he does physical attacks, he'll do this kick. I'm like, I guess that's cool, but it's like, that's the only new thing you gave him. You gave him this ridiculous restrictions. Like, I don't know. It was a really big disappointment with him. I think seeing him like this makes me just want him to be really one of the DLC characters in Fighterz more. Because, well, not only will we actually have playable 17 in that game, but I feel like they'll maybe do him a little more justice with what he did in Super and all that. Or I would say maybe in this they kind of give him the hit treatment, where he originally came with one variation that wasn't very good. Then they gave him a second variation where he had a lot more of his moves. And he was overall a lot better. This is what I mean. I think they were giving they made these movesets like a while back, but not very recently. But overall, I mean, this pack was okay. At least in terms of characters. I'm just referring to characters, keep in mind. I mean, like I say, it is still better than Pack 2, in my opinion. But, you know, I'm not really blown away with some of these choices. And I guess, you know, the characters, you know, at least one of the characters I was excited for, I wound up being very disappointing. I feel like, you know, the star of this pack is more so the new content and modes and features they added, rather than the characters. Maybe that's why kind of less. You know what? That might be why I think, you know, so there's less effort put into some of this, because I think they focused a lot more on, like, the modes and the features, which, I mean, I can understand. I mean, Xenoverse 2 has a lot to do and stuff already, but it is missing. It's still missing a lot of cool stuff. So I respect them for doing that. I just kind of wish they didn't half-ass some of the characters, namely Ranger 17. And they maybe at least gave Jiren a little bit more of some recent things he's done. But, you know, that's just what I thought of these characters. Let me know what you guys think, you know, if you played them, if you disagree with what I'm saying, anything like that. You know, like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. It's a free country. Subscribe if you'd like to. We'd really, really appreciate it. But, you know, as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.